commentary that I can.
She's right here.
Oh, I forgot. Kaylin's actually right here.
Hey, Kaylin.
Do you have anything to say? I'm kidding.
If you watch the movie, you know what we're doing.
Fuck.
What are you talking about? She's you're just being cynical. No, it's just the principle.
Yeah. She's like, stop singing. She's like,
yeah, thank you.
I got you. I was like, what does Teen Beach Movie have to do with us torturing Kaylin?
I was like, what do you mean? It's right there.
It's fine.
I feel like we're like, what do we do? Like, how do we start?
It's almost like we're doing it for the first time. Because we're sitting here. It's just you and me now.
It is.
So it's like we understood the dynamic of threes, and now we're sitting here trying to understand the dynamic of duos.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Well,
but, we can figure anything out that we set our mind to because we have Virgo placements.
Yes, and you have 2 of them, most importantly.
Mm-hmm.
So we will definitely figure this out.
But one's in my 12th house.
Oh, no! Well, mine's in my 2nd house, so.
So, if anything, you should be helping us out more. Miss Moneymaker.
Yeah, I'm going to figure it out, guys.
Yeah, it's okay. Well,
you're listening to Post-Credit Depression, where we talk about this week's current hyperfixation. For this week, we're going to be talking... Wait, we don't start with that. No, we don't. Oh, my God, since Ken's not here, I'm so thrown off.
There's not going to be a lot of notes for you to take.
Sorry, dog.
Okay.
Well, I introduced us, so...
but please say your name and your fun fact.
My name's Kinsey, and my fun fact for this week is that I've always wanted a giant stuffed animal tiger. You know the big ones that you can win at like fairs and carnivals? Dang. I would still get one right now.
Oh, my name's Mariah, and my fun fact is I made my own custom plate.
It's right here, actually, guys.
Yeah, if you guys could see it, I painted a cat. There it is. Right on the wood.
Maybe one day you guys will see it.
Maybe. I'll post it on the socials for all to see. I got you guys. Kaylin's obviously not here with us today.
No fun facts for Kaylin.
She did not forget to introduce herself. Actually, Kaylin's fun fact is that she's got the vid.
Fun fact is Kaylin's sick as fuck.
Yeah, so that's her
why
fun
it's just
fact.
us.
And so here we are.
Dedicated to our listeners. Yeah, we can't let you guys...
We're here for you guys, unlike Kaylin. We were supposed to watch The Outsiders this week.
Which we already have, but we don't know if Kaylin has.
Kaylin hasn't, and we didn't want to do this digitally with Kaylin, nor did we want to skip The Outsiders because I've been begging Kaylin to watch this movie for like 2 years because I feel like every person in the whole wide world should have watched this movie at the ripe age of 13 like we did.
Yeah.
But instead, I randomly decided to show Kinsey a Disney original movie and not one of the best ones.
No, not one of the best ones.
We watched Teen Beach Movie starring the one and only Ross Lynch.
Yes.
And the other girl, she's not important.
Whoever that is.
Mia. Oh. She stars in The Fosters, if anyone's seen The Fosters. I'm not the biggest fan of her, so it's okay.
Me neither. Everybody's got their tastes.
Oh, yeah, it is Mia Mitchell.
So, not trying to hate on her. I'm sure she's a nice person. Just didn't love her in the movie.
Yeah, it's fine. I watched this movie for the first time when I was, I don't know, whenever it came out, opening weekend, on accident. I was sitting on my phone one day, and it was on TV, and I caught, like, the last, like, I think I missed, like, the first 50 minutes of the movie. And I was like, this is kind of funny. This is like a funny concept. And like Ross Lynch was in it. And, like, I love Ross Lynch. This is like at the age where I wasn't really watching Disney that much or like Disney film. Not even TV that much. And I just happened to be immediately entranced in the concept of the movie. And then I became quickly obsessed with the soundtrack. I think after this film was when I realized that I really liked musicals for what it was. I was like, I like these type of movies. They're catchy. I get to listen to their music when I'm not watching it. And I think that I loved that it was a play on West Side Story, but it was the Wet Side Story. I don't know if you've seen West Side Story.
Nope.
Yeah, it's like more like our parents' generation, but it's basically the same concept. It's like the preppy boys versus
it's giving the greasers.
Yeah, it's almost like The Outsiders. But the whole concept of the biker falling in love with the preppy boy and West Side Story is a musical as well. I almost saw it when I was in Playhouse.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen the original one, therefore I don't think I'm allowed to see it on theater. I feel like I won't appreciate it the same.
How do you want to go about this? Do you want to ask me questions? It's just you and I, so honestly, it looks like you'll just be asking me questions and then telling me what you think of my answers.
Kaylin, what'd you think? Oh,
that's what the fuck I thought. Nothing.
Bro, Karma's gonna get us back when one of us aren't on the pod and Kaylin's straight dogs on us.
I know.
Yeah, so it was a great film. I love the concept, and I made Kinsey watch it. Kinsey, what was your immediate, and like, what did you know about this movie before I made you watch it?
Nothing. I knew it existed because, like you're saying, the time frame that this movie came out, I wasn't actively watching Disney Channel shows anymore. It was like here and there I was watching Gravity Falls, and that was like on Disney XD because I'm a cartoon girly.
Yeah.
But I had seen that Teen Beach was like, having ads and like marketing and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I love Ross Lynch, but I did not watch it. I just was during the time where I already just wasn't watching Disney that much, so I just didn't really care if I was gonna watch it or not. Not because I didn't know if it was good or not. It was like, I was doing other teenager things at the time.
Yeah.
But I didn't. The only thing I knew about the movie is that they were in a musical against their will.
And you knew Can't Stop Singing. You knew the words to that one.
That's
did. That's what that bitch played on commercials all the time.
I did know that one, and then it got viral on TikTok years later.
Did it?
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't know that song was on TikTok.
During the pandemic.
I wasn't on it then.
It was crazy. Everybody was making tons of TikTok audios, tons of videos with that audio. And people, so there's like a kind of video that it's known for that you use the audio for. And basically you use the audio to tell a story that has a really long explanation that's really weird. Do you have, like, I'm not saying you should tell us any of the stories, but you can probably think of a story that from beginning to end is very complicated and is constantly going wrong. That's what people would use the audio for, to tell like a really lengthy story that just seems to get worse and worse.
Gotcha.
Which makes sense. She can't stop singing.
Yeah,
she
keeps
singing more and more. And I loved the videos. People had some funny ass fucking TikToks.
That you just knew that song, or like maybe the music videos. Like Kinsey's singing along. She didn't know anything about this movie.
No, I knew it all from TikTok.
Dang.
But yeah, that's all I knew about it.
Yeah, when we started the movie, obviously like the first like 15 minutes of the movie is horrible. The acting horrible. Mm-hmm. As you like get to the good parts.
Yeah, are you asking what my first impressions are about the beginning of the movie? Yeah, interestingly enough, I think that like Ross Lynch was a pretty decent, or at least good actor to me on like Austin and Ally, But in the movie, I did not really like his acting. I was like, Ross, love you.
Yeah, it was not the
like
best. And he's clearly a good actor.
He
even
is
does, like,
a good
amazing
one.
in Sabrina.
Yeah.
Which was like right after this film.
So I was very confused about that, but I was like, you know what? Maybe he didn't like the project that much.
We're just gonna blame Mia Mitchell.
Let's just but his dancing and singing though, always on par.
Always
that
on
he
par.
is a performer. So in the first 15 minutes, I didn't even know they were dating.
Yeah.
Or at least
you didn't understand the severity of their relationship. You were like, you guys like each other. Oh, that's how I was.
Because they had definitely were acting like they were dating, but it was more like the chemistry wasn't there. So because the chemistry wasn't there, my Virgo moon started like gaslighting myself. I was like, are they dating? Are they not? Like, I think that whoever wrote it or like told them what they should be doing, or maybe I don't know how that works when it comes to acting. I don't know if they're like hands off and they're like, just look as flirty as possible, and maybe the two actors just didn't really jive together.
I'm sure the director probably was like,
whatever it is, something went wrong between the two actors at the beginning, because I did not get the vibes that they liked each other. And
maybe that was like some of the first scenes they filmed together.
Yeah. Whatever it was, the first 15 minutes of the movie, I definitely was not interested. But Ross was in it, so I was willing to hold out. Also, I like had heard two of the songs before, and I was like, they seem kind of, jumpy. I like it.
Yeah, I thought Kenny Ortega directed this, like, the danceography, and he didn't. I looked it up the night after we watched it, and I was like, oh, it wasn't Kenny Ortega. I think that might have been after he left Disney. Maybe he had some say in it, because, like Can't Stop Singing and Cruising for the Bruising gave, like, Kenny Ortega vibes.
I would agree. I wouldn't say every dance or song did. Those definitely two. When you told me that you thought the choreographer from High School Musical had made the dances, those two dances felt like High School Musical dances. And High School Musical was so fucking good at that. We will review that eventually.
Yeah, when
on this fucking podcast.
Hasn't seen them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really funny because I told you how I was like obsessed with this movie like to an unhealthy level. I don't understand why because it's not that good rewatching it. But Young Mariah was like in love with it. The Cruising for the Bruising song was literally my favorite. From the moment they like enter the world of the movie to the end of the Cruising Bruising, I was able to like recite such a large majority of that film at the back of my hand. Like the part where the bikers come in for the first time and they're like, thought we were smelling something fishy, and then they're like, I knew I should have laid some traps, and then the one guy's like, why don't you be like the ocean and wave goodbye? I used to quote that shit all the fucking time to Val for no reason. I just thought it was so clever.
Yeah, I think if I would have watched this movie at the time that it came out, I would have appreciated it a lot more. I'm not saying it was horrible watching it, but I
think I was too old for when it came out, but I still was like,
we've talked about before that there are things that we can watch now and still even enjoy that we probably couldn't like if we wouldn't have watched it originally being 11 or 14 or whatever the fuck. So I think that this movie, if I would have watched it at the time, I would have been like so into it. I would thought it was so cool, so funny, would have loved the songs. And I can still give credit for several of the songs now being much older. But we were talking about how Disney has like their eras of like movies, and we were saying that this movie was right on the cusp of when whatever the fuck Disney is doing now. Like, because
I'm pretty sure like I don't even obviously we don't watch Disney now, but like I know like the most recent like good movie they did was like that zombie one where the girl fell in love with the zombie. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I heard a little bit about it. I don't know any. I don't remember.
I don't really know much about it, but that's like one of the ones I remember coming out that was like a hit on Disney Channel, where they're like best friends with a zombie. And I saw like a commercial because I have younger siblings. I saw them watching it and I was like, what is this? They're like, oh, it's the zombie movie.
Yeah, we definitely lived through the golden age of Disney where there was just like some pretty good movies and pretty good shows. Yeah. And I don't know if Disney like has to allocate their money in certain areas or something. Like maybe they have so many projects going on right now that they can't put as much attention onto those kinds of shows. Oh, zombies.
That's what it's called.
Seabrook High. I've never fucking seen that before.
And then there was a sequel, so it must have did pretty good.
Yeah, they just don't make them like they used to.
If everyone, like, I'll give credit to, like, old Disney films, like, give me Smart House, give me Pixel Perfect, like, all that shit, perfect. You did good. Then you break into Cheetah Girls, and then you break into High School Musical, and then you break into Camp Rock, like.
They're all so fucking good.
They were on something when they were doing that shit.
I know. Whoever was working there, whoever was doing the choreography, the music, the writing specifically, that's what really got me about this movie, guys, is that I wasn't a fan of the writing. I didn't think the story was that good. I thought the antagonist was kind of like just slapped there for no reason. I understand why they had it by the end of the movie to bring them together, but it's
because the movie was supposed to feel like you were in a 1960s film, and to be fair, 1960s films had no depth.
Yeah, but
not all of them, but they like.
But
that's the point.
The thing. I still don't like it, even if that's the point, or it's supposed to be like this, like, because I could see what you're saying. They purposely would write the female characters as less developed compared to what's her face.
The main girl.
Mac. And then Mac would be like, you can think for yourself. To try to show the contrast of like a movie made in the 60s compared to now.
Bad guys, that's how bad guys were in the 60s. They were like these dumb characters that were side characters that had no actual development.
Well, I get that. Well, actually, like if you look at like Marvel or like DC, like
I'm talking 1960s, like this style of film, not actually developed
old as fuck. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
All right,
like I wasn't accepted then.
You can get inspiration from a place, but you can also still change it a little bit just to be a little bit more engaging for the viewer.
Yeah, they added black people to the film, Kinsey.
I just think that the plot, even if it's supposed to be based off of like an old kind of movie, it could have just had just a little bit more. So that's something that was kind of hard for me to get into. But
yeah, again, like you said, like aged, I'm sure like a 14-year-old isn't going to notice that like, oh, these characters have like no depth because they're too busy consumed to the fact that like Ross Lynch is on the screen and the dumb boy's in love with this girl.
And I mean, I was arguing with you. Well, not arguing, but I was telling you about how our literal main characters, Ross Lynch and that's not his name. Well, Tanner. Brady. Brady and Mackenzie, our two main characters, didn't even have that much depth to themselves.
Oh yeah, they didn't.
Like I understand Mackenzie's arc is following her heart and listening to herself, which can be a really cool overall theme. I've seen in many movies.
Because sometimes she'd be like, I have to listen to what my dead mom wanted. Oh, I should follow my heart. But
Well,
my aunt wants me to leave. And I'm like, make up your mind, girl.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the part of the journey, though.
But
it's
she
actually going
did
back
it
and
really
forth.
bad,
But
like sporadic.
that is what I'm saying. Is it's more so her acting. I think it makes sense that if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be sporadic. You're going to want to follow your heart one moment and then not. I think that's completely fine. It's her acting and however they gave her lines and like the pacing, all of it was so harsh.
I don't want to bash on her. I don't know if she's a good actress now, but like even when she was in The Fosters, I didn't think she was that good of an actress. Obviously, I don't have a lot of knowledge of what.
Yeah, I'm not a fucking actress. Maybe I'm a liar.
But when I saw her in The Fosters and when I saw her in Teen Beach Movie, I was like, it's just kind of like there's like a level of cringiness to it where you're like, could I do better? And I don't even know how to act.
And then like Ross, I know Ross is a good actor, but they had to have written his character just not that deeply, and he was just going off the lines because from the beginning, like we said, we didn't see any chemistry.
Yep.
So then when I saw them wanting to fight to be together after kind of getting a little jealous,
like, are they cousins?
I know. Seeing them like quote unquote fight for each other as the movie starts to go on, I had a tough time even believing it because I was just like, you guys don't even seem that crazy about each other. And just like I said, the overall pacing. Right now, I'm criticizing the story and how it was written. Like, whoever wrote these damn lines.
Because Brady's only character was like, I love Mac, don't want to leave. Also, I'm so happy that I'm in this film. Like, 5th grade me is so happy.
That was it.
Yeah,
that was it. There was
nothing
nothing
just, like,
else.
proving to her like you shouldn't go. But like his story relied on her acting. Realistically,
that's
why I'm blaming her.
It could have been. I think it could have been a little cooler if there was something else to Brady that we knew about. You know. But anyways, on to the good stuff, like the music, or the outfits, or the
outfits
props.
were good. I liked the outfits.
I like the outfits. Yeah. What were some of your like favorite outfits or like favorite sections of the film when they had like the pajama party or like the mamas?
The pajama party. It's so funny. When I was a child, I didn't like the pajama party number. Watching it with you again, I was like, this is actually really funny. I think it's hilarious. When I was watching it as a kid, I think I just didn't understand like what was really happening. I was like, this one ain't as catchy as Cruising for a Bruisin', but like it actually is super cute. I like the boys are like, you just gotta be like me and you could be fine. And then the girls are like, you just gotta let the boys decide.
Oh my god, I actually really liked the pajama party and when he was hanging out with the boys. Just I thought the song was really fun to listen to, and them being like, I know what girls like, and they were like, I know what boys like. And yes, it was very much taken on like a 60s perspective.
Bro, the boys were like, just show up, and the girls were like, you have to work for this boy to like you.
They literally said you have to work for it, and he's like, just like make the moves. She should like it. Like if you just
listen, I agree with everything except for when Mac said you should pick up the check.
I know. When Mac was over here like, no guys, like you can do whatever you want. You don't have to be a certain way to
You're
be
like, a woman.
Yes. Like there's not one way to be viewed as attractive by somebody because you shouldn't be like this product. And then she was like, and pick up the check. And I was like, no.
And then Brady was on something. He was like, you should really like pay attention and listen to their emotions. They love when guys are emotional. And I'm like, yes.
And I was like, Brady, yes. Good job. I did really like that one line. I thought that was pretty good.
It's good for like especially a children's movie. Like it's nice for kids to see that lesson.
To see that boys, if we're just talking about like binary, like boys and girls, right? Like the way they're raised, sadly, in only 2 options. But a lot of boys that are raised are raised.
I'm not disagreeing with kids. I just think it's so funny when we get deep all of a sudden.
I get all mad because I'm like, I'm not saying that's how I'd raise my kids. It's not one or the other. It's like you're just whether you're a girl or a boy or anything else, you need to be a good person. But from the lens of a parent who is only raising their kids as a boy or a girl, which is rude as fuck, but I'm happy to see in a movie that they're saying that somebody who is like a boy or masculine or it's okay to be emotional. I feel like we need to see more of that, a ton more, all the time. Like I was on TikTok last night and I saw a video of prison inmates who are able to adopt cats. And I was like, holy crap, that's so cool. And all these cats are cats that are about to be euthanized. And the only way they can adopt the cat is if they, behave. Like, they don't start fights and they don't try to steal shit and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Or, like, beat the shit out of each other. So, like, if they just behave based off of whatever rules they have the opportunity to adopt a cat. And then they have to take care of the cat in order to keep it. And then when they get to leave, they get to, not that I agree with prison systems, okay? I'm just talking about this right now. They get to leave and they get to take their cat,
Yeah.
And after one man adopted a cat and like they got to like hang out with him and pet him and have fun with him, every man in that fucking place wanted a cat. And there's like cats all over this fucking prison.
That is adorable.
And like they were talking about how happy the cats made them, how it completely changed their outlook of life. Like a lot of them were suicidal, and how like these cats really made them want to look at that side of themselves, because people are emotional. It does not matter what your gender is, how you identify. Like, it's sad that people are told to think or feel a certain way depending on where they were raised, how they were raised.
Yeah, that's a sad
like
truth. Like, people do have like genuine care for their heart, but when you put them in bad areas or bad parts of society, they're gonna think otherwise.
Yeah, and then they have to deal with all that trauma, like unpacking it. And these are like 40-year-old men, guys. Like, they are like grown ass men.
I mean, half of it doesn't even stem from like the household. It stems from like other. I mean, yeah, it's all from household at the end of the day. Because like other boys treating other boys like that.
And the the father like. Allowing that to happen specifically, because the only reason boys treat each other like that is because that's what they're being taught at home. They're being taught, don't cry, be a man.
Yeah,
right?
I remember my brother all the time being told, like, "Yo, you can't cry. That's so girlish of you. Like, you're such a baby."
Yeah, so then they bring it to other boys, and it festers,
and they're
right?
like, "Well, I'm not allowed to cry. Why are you crying? That's unmanlike for you to cry." And then they're telling their friends that, the other friends are that. Next thing you know, they're like, "It's gay to cry."
Yes,
and then
yes.
It's like, oh shit.
So like, well, the only reason I'm bringing up this cat inmate thing is seeing how these men being around cats, and like literally being able to tap into a part of themselves that has always existed, but they have not ever been given the opportunity to, is so important. And it's a huge issue that involves men that needs to have like more info put out, like into media, into songs, like anything that we can digest, right?
So seeing like Ross talk like that was
it made me really happy, and it didn't feel forced either. Like I don't know.
The line was smooth.
I'm not saying you can like force yourself when you're trying to be emotional as a man. I'm just saying it felt very natural and okay. Like anybody that would try to argue with it, I'd be like, no. Like they're not trying to, satisfy a group of people by making Ross say that. They really said it in a way that is understandable and realistic,
Yeah, I think even though we didn't agree with Max saying pay for the bills, I think both like their stories in general were definitely like, even beyond that song, were very much like explaining to the main characters like, you can be more than this.
Yeah, and I really like that. Or
more than that, yeah. But Ross was showing up for all the dance numbers though. That's the truth. He might have been a little stale in the acting part, but
he came to perform.
Bro, Cruising for the Bruising came on and he was like, I can't dance, but he was doing
straight
all
up like a little Elvis. I don't like Elvis, but
Yeah, I was like, at first I was like, he just decided to join in the number. Like, he wasn't a part of the movie, and then he was like, I'm a part of this song and dance.
But he knows the song because how many times he's watched it.
I mean, put me in High School Musical, and I'm like, we're all in this together, And but also I would like to say how come that part didn't ruin the film? How come he got to be the star of the show when I know damn well it was supposed to be the main biker boy performing, and he was a side character? Yeah,
because I kept saying that like if certain things don't happen in the movie, the characters don't know what to do. AKA when the two main characters from the movie, not our Brady and Mac, but Tanner and Layla. Like, Tanner was supposed to catch Layla, and he didn't, and it fucked up the plot. And
I was trying to explain that part to Kaylin. I was like, I don't know if this makes sense, but the main guy and the other main guy, because I didn't give her names. I was just like, our main guy, and then the movie main guy.
So then how did our Cruising for a Bruising cast not... like just stand still when they saw him jumping in?
The number was still supposed to happen, and they did fine. The one guy just got pushed to the side. There was like one point where they were like both in the front, and then Brady stepped up, and the other guy like went to the side. But also, like, at what point do you go like, who is this motherfucker? He ain't in our gang.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously just being like very
extra critical
over it, because it doesn't need to be perfect. It's just a fictional universe. But obviously, my Virgo moon is constantly thinking. So I was like,
I just love that Ross, like you said, like knew the film like the back of his hand, and he was like ready. He was accepting the movie moments. He's like, my outfit changed. I joined the number, and Max just like, what's happening? Happening? Because that'd be us. I mean, I don't know. I think I would join along. Put me in a film. I'm ready. I know the film. Put me in a happy film, not a sad film, because I'd probably die. Put me in Attack on Titan. I'm dead.
I mean, if it's a musical and I like it, like let's say we got thrown into High School Musical right now, I know you and I would go and perform.
Yeah,
we'd be like,
we know the film.
Let's think about the solutions later. Let's just go enjoy ourselves. You know, we'd be wearing red and white. We'd be like,
Coach said to fake right and break
left.
Maybe they'd let me join the basketball team.
I'd be a cheerleader. I would be like living it out again.
Listen,
yay!
I'd be trying to slide in Monique's spot for Chad. I think I'd fit the friend group. Maybe you'd be with the cheerleaders, and I'd just be like hanging out playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be fine.
Remember, they're cliquey in that movie, so I'd be like, wait, actually, we would be friends.
Yeah, friends. Yeah,
but
that's if they're accepting that I'm like a female playing with them on the basketball team. I'd just be on like the females basketball team, but we'd be cool because we're both athletes.
We're athletes in the High School Musical movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Teen Beach movie. What's another thing you want to talk about in regards to the movie that you wanted to know from my perspective, never watching it?
Obviously, cringe, but I love the scene when Ross catches Layla and he's like, I've been dreaming of this since I was in 5th grade. And then the awkwardness of Mac, who's like trying to not accept that they're in the film. She's like, I'm leaving. And then she still runs into Tanner and he's like, hey. And she's like, fuck, what did I just do? And obviously she doesn't know the film like Brady does. So I think for that split moment, she's like, what's happening? Why did this man just catch me?
Yeah, that scene I wasn't as into, but that's just like my criticalness. I was like, oh, this is cringy. I feel like if I would have watched this when it came out, I probably really would have liked the scene where Brady catches her.
Right together, right? You realize in that moment that they fucked up the film.
Oh, yeah, of course. I knew when she was twisting, about to fall over. I was like, Tanner ain't over there. Like, what we gonna do?
That part when I first watched as a child was so like magical. I was like, oh shit.
She was like, I almost died. I was like, oh my god.
Singing her little "Falling for You" song, which has like a whole second half too. That's not in the film, but it's like not too bad.
You know what's kind of sad that I want to bring up was the fact that Tanner and Layla could tell that Brady and Mackenzie weren't that into each other, and the little times that they'd be like, yeah, I don't know. Can you ever tell when somebody just isn't that into you?
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought that acting was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Like I told you, they were twin flames, and every time the film ends, and their lives are restart, that they are meant to be together.
That is what Mariah said. Yeah. She said that Layla and Tanner are twin flames in the movie within the movie.
The movie within the movie. And when the movie ends, because clearly they're on a loop.
Yeah, they have to keep restarting.
The movie ends, aka they die, and they are reborn. And they are twin flames meant to be together.
And they find each other in every life, which is every time the movie is restarted.
Even though 9 times out of 10 they're living the same exact life, that one time when Brady and Matt came in, they still found each other.
They did. They did still find each other. They did it on accident, too, on the beach.
Well, it was kind of almost a setup, but it was an accident.
Oh, yeah. They were trying to make it a setup, but then they fucked up the original setup, and then it ended up working out anyways. Because they're twin flames.
Love it.
And they are made for each other. Layla
They're both idiots.
They're both idiots.
I liked the song Meant to Be, where they're like trying to set them up and they're like, okay, if we just get them to look at each other, then they'll be fine. And like they're like pitching these lines, like Ross is like, you need to find a guy with perfect hair, and he's like trying to pitch Tanner, but Layla's like, yeah, you have perfect hair. And then Mac's like, you need to find a girl that's into movies, find someone who really does this and this. And at the whole time they're like singing about, like Mac is singing about Layla, and Brady's singing about Tanner, but the other two are not understanding. They're thinking they're singing about each other. Yeah. And Layla's like, oh my god, I'm more in love with Brady because he's just saying all these reasons why I'm in love with him. And they're like fucking up left and right. And they do that scene where they try to get them to look at each other and they pull the curtain and they both look away. Yeah. I'm like, damn. Because let me tell you, I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
You put me in High School Musical and I fuck up and Troy Bolton's in love with me. I can't do it. I can't say.
Is the other character Chad?
Oh, yeah.
Corbin Blue?
Chad.
I never remember his name. You set me up with Chad. I guess I'm never going back home.
No. Listen. I'm with Chad. I'm staying in this film every day. Over
and over again.
I'll do it every day.
I'll be the only sentient being. I don't care.
Gosh. No, it's great. And you also...
What?
What?
What were you going to say? And you also...
You also didn't like the opening song as much as I did. Not like the first song, but the one when they first get to the beach and they're like, surf, surf.
Oh, yeah, no.
That one's so good.
I was going to ask you, if I was in the movie, would I be one of the preppy ones, or would I be a biker?
I think you would be a surfer, but you'd want to be a biker. Like, you're basically like Tanner.
It's the truth.
I think I'd be a biker.
You would be preppy.
Okay, it's fine. I'll take it.
I don't think you'd be a biker. You're Cancer Moon. Out of all the preppy ones, you'd be the meanest, but you wouldn't be
You'd be the meanest. I don't even know there's any mean ones. Maybe I'd be like what's Jordan Fisher's name?
What I mean is more like the most like
that's what I'm trying to think. I can't think
private.
of his name. Sea-Cat. That was Jordan Fisher's character. He was like the boss. He showed up.
Yeah,
and
he was kind of
dogging on him.
Let me be in charge of everybody.
Yeah,
Let me be a fucking bossy bitch. Like you'd be like, schedule out our events, and sometimes people come, and sometimes
you'd be
they're
Giggles
late.
with her fancy little different swimsuit.
I would just be dancing.
And Kaylin would be Roscoe.
Which one's Roscoe? Oh. Yep.
She'd be wrong. Or she could be Tanner. She does have that Leo Venus. She could pull off a Tanner.
She could be Tanner.
She could totally be Tanner.
I'm so amazing. Of course, that's why you like me. Of course, I know everything. Thank
Gosh. And I was telling you how Tanner, like in real life, the guy who plays Tanner, the guy who plays Bubbles, and the guy who plays Bubbles? Giggles.
The girl who plays Giggles.
The girl who plays Giggles and the guy who plays Roscoe are all on this little like Pride TikTok account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I loved Garrett when he came out. I don't want to say he was, but like I was like, maybe this man is not straight when I saw him on the screen, and then I found out that none of them were. And I was like, damn.
I mean, if you think about it, like a lot of people that are in theater and like dance, I'm not saying this at all as a bad thing. Like just like for example, at art school, when I went to art school, like the statistics about how many people at art school are neurodivergent, like really overwhelmed the amount of people who are neurotypical.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to be neurodivergent to be an artist, but it makes sense that a lot of gay people or LGBTQ plus people are gravitate towards theater.
Yeah, it's a way for them to express themselves.
Yeah, like they get to express themselves.
Be different characters, different people. Yeah.
Like it just makes psychological sense, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I followed Giggles on social media literally since I think Teen Beach Movie came out because I was like, she's funny, and then I think they were on So You Think You Can Dance.
I can see it.
So I know for a fact her and the guy who plays Roscoe are. So big fans. They talk about how a lot of people from Disney like were scared to come out, which like
Dove Cameron.
Honestly, I guess Disney is like a children's like channel, but like just let people be gay. Disney, what are you doing?
Yeah, but it's not that I agree with what they're doing at all. But
no,
the
I
reason
forget Disney's a whole corporate. I'm thinking of just Disney Channel, not like Disney.
You know, Disney Channel is connected to Disney, so when you look at the crazy ass conservative people who are homophobic as hell.
Yep.
Like they hear one facet, one of these tiny areas of Disney is going to be openly aware of, oh, our characters are gay, or like the actors are gay. They're gonna say fuck all of Disney, and those people are that crazy that they would boycott all of it. They'd be like, Disney princesses gone.
Think about I really for some reason for that split moment forgot that Disney Channel is associated with like Disney as the corporation. But like even like when the Don't Say Gay law was in Florida and Disney didn't take a stance on it. Like people were pissed, like conservatives pissed, liberals pissed. They're like, "Where's your stance?" And then I'm pretty sure Disney was like, "We support the gays."
Yeah, at the end of the day, they're like, "Well, we gotta support the gays."
Yeah, when I went to Disney, they had so much pride shit. So clearly, the conservatives can be pissed all they want. They're still gonna go to Disney World.
Yeah, you're still. That's what I'm like.
When
Disney,
your 8-year-old begs you to go to Disney World, you're still gonna go.
Disney. Like, why are you really scared of these conservative families?
Why? They're scared of the older conservatives. Those 60-year-olds ain't paying for any of your shit, Disney.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, even if there's conservative younger people who have children, you think they're going to not take their kids to Disney World? Disney in general is so huge. There's so many shows, so many toys, so many companies that Disney fucking owns. They own Pixar. Like, they don't own DreamWorks. I think they might own, like, a section of it. But, like, they be arguing with them all the time.
They own, like, Brave.
What?
Isn't Brave from DreamWorks?
I think Brave's a Disney movie.
I think it's DreamWorks.
Really? Oh, well, whatever. The point is they own a lot of brands, even brands that aren't like labeled as Disney and things like that create content, whether it's movies, shows, music, you know, toys, things that kids fucking like digest. And I'm like, those families are still going to bring those kids to those things. Like at the end of the day, they can't deny their kids those experiences. Yeah. Maybe some of them might try to, and then their kids will be like, fuck you, I can't enjoy myself. But I don't think enough would happen that they would suffer financially, you know?
Yeah. Dang. So then we get towards the end of the movie where you see the crappy bad guy.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
This is after they find out that they love each other.
Mm-hmm.
We already talked about the Can't Stop Singing song. Obviously, you liked it from TikTok. I thought that concept was really funny. I thought that it was very fitting because, like, that is literally how it feels when you're watching a musical. They break out a song randomly for no reason.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah,
that
Max
was amazing.
Like, okay, we need to make a plan. Like, this is very serious. And all of a sudden, she's like, hold on. Why am I singing?
Yeah, and I thought it was cool how the longer they stay in the movie, the more they get turned into the movie. Like, their outfits permanently changed. Their hairstyles had changed. And they would always stay that way. You know, they couldn't, like, take them out unless it was into another hairstyle in relation to the movie. You know,
like they found the water dry.
I thought those were really cool little aspects.
Yeah, that song and dance is like one of my favorites. I think the choreography is really good. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was when you first said it was wrong.
Ross did his backflip and you were like, nice.
Yeah, out of all the backflips, he did the best one. The main dude of the biker gang was doing some alarming backflips.
Was it that bad?
Yeah, the form was really bad that I was like, if you wouldn't have jumped maybe 2 inches higher, like you would have maybe like hurt yourself.
Yikes.
Not fell on his head, but he could have fallen and then fallen on his head. Does that make sense? Like something could have went wrong.
When I first watched it, obviously I told you when I watched High School Musical, I watched the What's editions of everything, and I was like, I wonder if they'll make a What's edition for Teen Beach Movie.
Did they?
No, but one of the things I wanted to know is throughout the film, there's so many times where they throw like their instruments and shit, and there's only like 2 times where they throw it and it makes a crashing noise. Every other time they just throw it, and you either hear like a cat go like meow or you hear nothing. And I was like, I wonder how many things in this film they just threw. I was like, that would be my what's bad.
Mariah with her what's shit.
Listen, it's a good thing.
I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's silly.
I just want to know. I like to know the little ins and outs of things that I enjoy.
Nothing
Give
wrong
me
with
the
that.
small fun facts that happen behind the scenes.
But anyways, the end of the movie, I don't even want to really cover the antagonist. I'm sorry, I don't. Like, whatever, he was going to fuck up the weather, and he was going to fuck up the bikers' bikes by making humid, and fuck the surfers up by making no waves so they could buy the area out. Good for him. He failed. And so then
Big Mama's got to stay.
And our surfers and bikers became friends because they worked together to save Mackenzie and Brady, which I was like, sweet. Now let's move on to the part I actually want to talk about, is when Mackenzie and Brady walk into the water. They're like, bye, guys. See you later, guys. To go, to reality. And we pull up in reality, and this is my guess from the beginning. I thought that at the beginning of the movie, when they went into the water and Mackenzie was trying to catch that big ass wave, and then they get transported in the movie because the wave was really big, I thought that she was going to be unconscious or like got fucked up by the wave with Brady.
You thought it was going to be like a dream, like Wizard of Oz type shit?
Yeah, I thought when Brady went out to go save her at the beginning of the movie, I thought they both got knocked out by that wave, and somebody would probably like pull them out, and at the end of the movie, maybe they woke up from being like waterlogged, stuff like that. But no, they walk into the water.
They just like effortlessly pop back out.
They're leaving the movie at this point, right? So at the end of the movie, they're leaving the movie that they're in by going into the water on the little surfboard, and we see them in reality on the actual beach, but in the water, but like in reality, right? And she's still like, I have to catch this wave. I have to go ride this fucking wave still.
Even though it almost killed her.
Yes, even though it almost killed her. And I was like, did we not learn anything at all? Like, I thought you wanted to get home, even if it means you don't want to go on that plane. Like, why are you still catching this wave if everybody was getting out of the water? Everybody was going to the beach.
The lifeguard was up there waving the flag.
He said, get the out of here. Like this the whistle, And I'm like, what were you doing? Trying to prove a point and die? That's not a joke. Yeah. If the lifeguard's telling you to leave, you should probably leave. What if there's a shark? You don't even know there's a shark. Whatever. So she rides this dumbass wave. And does she successfully ride it, I think?
Yes.
Yeah. She successfully rides it. I had to do it. I really needed to do it. Shut the fuck up. I wasn't enough in the moment to actually vibe.
To tie with that, I remember at the beginning of the film, the grandpa was talking about the surfboard, and he was like, everybody in the family's found their destiny on the surfboard. So, like, it felt like her destiny was literally just to, like, sit here and ride this fucking wave. And I'm like, y'all could have made this story deeper.
That's so fucking funny. I forgot that. Are you serious?
Yeah, and that's the surfboard she took on the wave, and then she went into Teen Beach movie.
Yeah, I did know the surfboard. She took that, and it's the one that brought her into the movie.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be like the movie that. And did you see that Layla's necklace? It was the same logo as the surfboard. But like, I'm still confused. I'm like, if that was her destiny, like, what was her destiny? To find out that she should stay behind?
I think the destiny was to choose what her destiny is, and if it's not to go to school, like basically to have the autonomy of it, right? Yeah. And I mean, this is just my opinion. I don't care what Mac does. If staying home, not going to school makes her happy because she loves surfing, cool. But girl, you are.
Well, she was going to school, so she was staying in a normal school, but her aunt was like,
Actually,
come to this rich paid school.
If I was her, depending on what the rich school is, I probably would have stayed home. But let's say I was given the opportunity at 16.
Well, she said that it was going to be like a school like her aunt did. Her aunt looked like a fancy businesswoman.
I know, but like, although private schools are silly as fuck, and I don't think they should exist or anything like that, there are private schools that have really good education.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, if I was 16, a sophomore in high school, and I got the opportunity to go to a private art school that is credited, like, is a really good, awesome artists have come out of it, has an amazing curriculum, I would have up and left my friends.
First, like a normie private school.
But
it was pitched like a normie private school.
I'm specifically talking about art school because I'm an artist.
Would you have done it, though, if you were, like, happily in your relationship and, like, enjoying summer and you were going to be uprooted? Like, imagine 16-year-old Kinsey living her dream, cheering with her boyfriend, living life. And all
I
of a
wouldn't
sudden,
have done it. I would have said no. I like my boyfriend.
Went,
I
like,
like
a city
to cheer.
over. It'd be different if it was like a city over something. Like, I don't know where they were living, but it almost felt like she lived in, like, maybe, like, Hawaii. And they were like, you got to go back to the States, bro. We're taking you to New York for this fancy school. Say bye to all your life here. You're never coming back.
I'd be like, can I just go to a fancy school when I graduate? Like, that's
I know. Can't we just get a nice college?
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's weird. Like, high school, obviously you did sports. Like, that's weird to be uprooted in the middle of your 16-year-old
I think
life.
I just valued having sports. Like, even now, as a whole ass adult out of college, I'm happy that I did sports in high school because there's, like, my favorite memories from high school.
Yeah.
And I will never get to do that again. You never get to be on a high school team or, like, a sports team, really. I'm not saying a high school is amazing. I'm saying, like, they don't have sports for grown-ass adults unless you are, like, famous.
When us three do sand volleyball, right, Kaylin? Yeah.
Thank you, Kaylin.
When we're doing sand volleyball, it'll be fun.
We'll play, like, professionally, you mean?
No. It'll just be organized.
No, but that's not the same. Like, when you're not... I loved playing sports in high school because you got to go against other schools. Yeah. And there was, like, a somewhat seriousness to it, you know? Like, you were representing your school. Mm-hmm. And that's something I've always really liked. That's why I wanted to cheer in college, and I didn't get to. Mm-hmm. It was just such a vibe for me. I loved all of it.
When I was 16, my dad wanted to move me to a different school to play basketball at a different school. And I was like, ooh, I like what I got going on here. The other team don't like me. I met them.
I met them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I probably would have said no if someone was coming at me. Unless you're saying, like, there might be certain situations, like, if, like, a really cool art school or really cool, like, opportunities, maybe that could have been worked out. But it wasn't pitched to Mac like that.
Yeah, no, it was just, like, you're going to this random school.
You're going to this fancy school that I went to that helped me, and it'll help you. So I think you're right. Her getting to pick, like, her destiny was definitely, like, her thing. But it was like they could have made that more of a moment throughout the film.
And could we have just known a little bit about the school? Like, are you going to this private school because it's going to help you with a business degree in college?
Bro,
or it's going to
that's
give you
why
a leg
I hated
up or
the
something?
first 15 minutes of the movie. It was so rushed. I got no information. All I knew is that Mac Brady private school, giant surf wave, and that's why when I used to watch film as a child, I fast forwarded to the first 15 minutes because I wanted to get straight to the point where they popped into the other film.
Yeah, and also for being an adult, like there are crazy adults out there that make their kids do things, right? So I don't think that was far fetched, but it's like I wish I would have seen why she was having her go there, besides saying I went there, like
because her mom. It's probably like so. Obviously, her mom died, and she made a promise to her mom that she would take care of her daughter.
Let's say the importance was that you needed to go to a private school. They wouldn't make you just go to any. They'd be like, we're gonna tailor one to what we want you to do. Let's say
like maybe it was
we always wanted you to be a doctor. We've always wanted you to be a doctor, and that's why you're going to this school. Mm-hmm. I don't think realistically an adult would say, I went to this school and I'm doing this
also it's weird because it's high school. How serious does your high school need to be at the end of the day? I mean,
I don't know.
Let's be honest. I'm sure certain high school stuff gets you better colleges, but like if she's already going to a high school, just let her finish high school.
Yeah,
I don't think that it happens, but I don't think it's necessary for you to go to a big name high school to get into a good college.
Oh, I completely agree, but I'm talking about mainly why did her aunt have such an issue with her going to a private school if we didn't know why she was going to it? Like, is she trying to pursue a business degree? Is she trying to be a doctor? Is she trying to be a dentist? I don't know.
Bro, the girl just wanted to surf.
Well, yeah, but I'm just like, what was the aunt's point?
Yeah.
Because I can understand if the aunt was like, I want you to have a good education to further your wherever you're trying to specifically go. But if it's just to say, I have this name, I have this degree, diploma from whatever fucking high school it is, right? Like, just for shits and giggles to say you have it, like, well, did that really help her then? If she doesn't know what she wants to do, like, I don't know.
I guess, like, since it is, like, a younger Disney film, they're like, it's just high school. But I think that if they would have pitched it that she was going to college, it would have felt more realistic. Like, oh, we're making you go to college.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't have been as many questions.
And at the end of the day, if it was a cool school that I actually thought would help me and it had...
You would consider going.
I would consider going.
You would be like, can my friends and my boyfriend and my cheerleading team come with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I have to be alone?
Do I have to be alone. How far is it specifically?
How much traveling can I do? Yeah. And then obviously, you know, she found her destiny and she just didn't go to the school. And she was like, I want to stay here with Brady. With my boyfriend that has no chemistry with me.
I know. I was like, obviously I would stay with Ross Lynch, but I was like,
who wouldn't stay with Ross Lynch?
But we're talking about Brady.
There were some moments in the film where like his hair was all messed up and he was not looking good.
Yeah, they did him dirty several scenes in the movie.
Yeah, I think they like dyed his hair a little lighter than it was like for Austin and Ally, so like maybe it wasn't healthy.
Maybe it was fried.
Maybe it's fine. He's brunette now, so he doesn't dye it anymore. But then the film ended, and I made you watch the little mid-credit where they come into their world. And when I watched it for the first time, I was like, oh, yes, that means they're going to set up for a sequel. I can't wait. And then the actual sequel came out, and it's trash.
It's trash.
I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, that's crazy. It was. I did like the little mid-credit where they like were coming out of the water. It gave me, what's that movie with Tyra Banks and she's a doll?
Oh, my gosh. I almost said Super Size Me. That's the one where the guy eats McDonald's every day. God damn it. I know what you're talking about.
Well, when they were coming out of the water, it kind of gave me like Barbie dolls come to life and they don't know what reality is like. It was pretty cool. I did like the cute little cutscene.
Oh my God, I love that movie. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a good fucking movie.
Life Size.
It's a good damn movie.
It is a good movie.
I know. Thank you.
Yeah, it definitely did, because like they were very out of place. They were like, my hair's wet, my clothes are ruined.
Yeah, they're all like, what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely set it up for a really good sequel, but they didn't do it justice, unfortunately. It felt like a completely different movie. But it's okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't hate the movie too much.
Yeah, sorry. I
to be fair, it's not like I brought it to you with like a lot of potential. You literally casually mentioned how you wouldn't see the movie, and I was like, oh my God, I loved that movie when I was a kid. Let's watch it.
Yeah, and I definitely think at the end of the day that I would have liked this movie if I had watched it when it came out more than what I
You were probably like cheerleading that night. It probably came on like a Friday night. Boys' game was going on. You were cheering. I was chilling at home. It's fine.
Yeah.
Kaylin, what do you think of the movie? That's right. Forgot. You're not speaking.
Of course you think that.
Yeah, that sounds like you. Miss Leo rising, or Sag rising. Makes sense. Yikes.
Yikes. What a take over the movie, Kaylin.
It's fine. Maybe she'll learn to let go during this Aries new moon.
Yeah, you don't have to be that mean about it, man.
Gosh. God, can't even end the astrological new year on a good note. Disrespect.
Gotta bring the negativity into the astrological new year.
Don't do that to me, Kaylin.
Puncher.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
It's fine. Well, even though we watched The Outsiders like 2 weeks ago, I'm hoping that I have enough memory of I'm just kidding. I've seen the film enough.
Yeah, I've seen the film enough. I can't wait to mention all my thoughts from when I was 13 during the movie.
And we're making Kaylin watch it as a grown adult for the first time.
It'll be nice to see what she thinks about the sexy
We're going to be
man.
like, that child. And she's going to be like, that child? And we're going to be like, well, we were 13.
Yeah, I'm talking about from my 13 point of view. From me now, I like Sody Pop.
You were a Johnny boy back then.
What?
You liked Johnny boy back then. Or you liked Pony boy back then.
Oh, when I was 13, I liked Pony boy.
Uh-huh.
But I also thought Soda Pop was hot too. But I was literally like so obsessed with Pony boy.
Young Roblo was my favorite at all times.
And then, Soda Pop is my favorite now.
Yeah. Rob Lowe looking good. I mean, he did age kind of badly because he was on drugs, but
damn,
he didn't age as good as like Paul Rudd. But it's fine. Dang, don't even know how to outro this without Kaylin.
Well, you gotta ask me. You didn't ask me.
Ask you what? Would you share this film with someone else?
No.
You wouldn't even show it to like your niece?
Oh, children, yes.
Children? I would show children all the time.
I would show like any kids near me. I need them to like shut the fuck up, or like they need some cool down time. I'll pull it up. It's got lots of songs. It moves a lot. It'll be great.
You gotta find that in between of films for kids nowadays that are like not too annoying. Like you're not annoyed watching it. Like you could watch it if you had to. Yeah. Like my younger brother was watching Cocomelon. What
the fuck?
I was like, I'm not watching this. And then we watched Paw Patrol. I could do Paw Patrol. There's this other weird one he watches where like the only the kid talks. There's a bunch of animals and they don't talk. And I'm like, why am I watching this? And I will offer to put on like a Pixar movie and he'll get mad at me. Like, can we watch Cars? Because he knows he likes Cars. So like, I don't want to watch Cars. I'm like, please. something that I can enjoy and you can enjoy for different reasons.
Yeah. But I will say I love showing each other some of our favorite movies from our childhood or, later childhood and things like that. Because
that movie was an accident. I should never have watched it when it first came out, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure Kaylin's going to show us movies that she's watched when she was younger.
Yeah, for those still listening this far in, Kaylin obviously had a very different growing up experience than us.
Yeah, she was sheltered. She didn't get to see
she was raised
High
in
School
the
Musical.
South.
Yeah, in the South.
So she doesn't...
In like a cell. Like with no Wi-Fi or anything.
Yeah, so Kaylin was exposed to different media than we were.
It's funny because several of the things Kaylin likes, I actually did see.
They're very niche stuff. So yeah, there are people who have seen
other friends that I've had maybe didn't see. For example, The Last Unicorn. That is something that not a lot of people really have seen in their childhood. Maybe they've seen it now.
Quest for Camelot. You never even heard of that. Kaylin and I were like...
I heard of Quest for Camelot, just never watched it.
Shut up. Don't make me out to be a liar.
I just never watched it.
Yeah.
But
There's a lot of niche stuff. Like even you've seen Thumbelina, and I've seen Thumbelina. That's a very niche thing. Like not every children.
And Kaylin didn't see Thumbelina, and for somebody that was held against her will in that cell and didn't have any access to Disney Channel, I would expect her to have watched it, Thumbelina.
Yeah, homegirl hasn't seen Camp Rock. She's seen the High School Musical, the first one. I think she's seen parts of the second one. Never even seen the third one. Never seen the Hilary Duff movie.
Yeah, we're gonna catch her up, and we will be reviewing all of those. So
yeah, it's an exciting time. But go ahead and check back in next week for our regularly scheduled episode, unless another one of us gets sick. But we're talking about the Outsiders.
One of us dies, or something crazy happens.
We'll be talking. The three of us will be talking about the Outsiders, whether it's in the present or not. We'll pull out the fucking Ouija board. We're like, Kinsey, did you like the Outsiders? I loved
Pony Boy.
Talk to you guys next week.
Fuck it.